Hi everybody, my name's Olivia Gudaniec, and I'm your host on Jobs in Showbiz, and this is...
Mark DeMarchi, hello.
We have a very special guest here. He works in the costume department as a set supervisor. So do you want to tell us a little bit about your job? I know there's no average day on set, but how that goes about on a daily basis.
Well, as the costume department set supervisor, basically my job entails representing the costume department on the set level.
Okay.
More or less working with the directors and with the lead actors and with the DOPs and with all the other hair and makeup departments, and we kind of collaborate, thank you.
And he's always on the run, guys, always.
And yeah, we basically just do what we need to do at that time. It's a lot of thinking on your feet and multitasking, and basically it's to get a shot done or get a scene done.
Yeah.
And like I said, representing the costume department.
And I find that there's a lot of layers to your job. So although you are a set supervisor, I kind of feel like sometimes your job is like a personal assistant, a bit of a parental figure maybe.
Yes, definitely.
Therapist, dare I say.
Yeah. So a lot of it is because, like I say, you are working directly with the lead actors, and of course a big part of our job is keeping them comfortable and just, you know, if we've got a woman in high heels running around, you know, for 12 hours a day, we will often make sure that we get those shoes off quickly when we're
Yes.
and get her into some comfortable shoes. Just more or less stuff like that. You know, making sure when an actor goes to lunch that they maybe are provided with something that they don't get food on their costumes. So there's a little bit of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Often going into an actor's room and, you know, getting very personal with them and helping them with undergarments and you know, it
all
really does
details.
entail a lot of stuff. I mean, if you know an actor's, you know, we're close enough, we know they may be getting thirsty, you know, it might be something you even suggest that someone maybe will get them some tea or some water.
That's so nice.
Because generally a happy actor is a happy set.
Exactly. We all feed off the actors, right?
For sure.
And who are some of the actors you have, I guess, supervised, assisted for?
We're presently working with Brenda Song, who is a lovely, lovely young lady, beautiful and so talented. And another great part about our job is that we get to sort of see the way these performances transpire and the process, and I'm quite fascinated with that. I probably would have to say I really love actors and I love what actors do.
Have you been an actor before?
No, I probably should have been. People tell me that all the time. I think I'm a bit camera shy.
No.
I have heard that before.
Well, you're definitely hardworking because I haven't watched you on set.
I feel like I work hard, and I say I like making the actors happy.
There you go.
Which could be by even telling them a really bad joke.
Let's hear some. No pressure. So at the end of the day. Yes.
No, I was going to say, you did actually, one of actors I worked with, I will say, I mean, I'm not sure a lot of if there's younger people out there that will know, but I worked with Faye Dunaway, who is quite an iconic actress and, you know, many great roles. And that is probably kind of like one of my big moments, and she was a little crazy, so that was kind of fun too.
Yes, let's hear all about the gossip there.
Well, just she really knew what she wanted. She knew her lighting. She basically came onto the set and kind of you know, made changes of lights and changing of, you know, blocking.
Right. So this is my good side.
Often we do that too. Like there's oftentimes with an actor the way, you know, like someone may sit, or like people often don't really realize maybe that it's looking a little awkward, their positioning, and that's something else we do. So it's a very visual job. And a lot of it has to do with, you know, making something make sense. And at the same time, you want things to still look natural and clothing moves. And we have different tricks of our trade that we use a lot of little pins, or we use double-sided tape is often something that we use for a lot of things. And but you also have to be careful with that sort of stuff too, because you know, next thing you know, you look like you have a costume that's glued to an actor.
Yeah, we don't want that.
We don't want that, no.
So at the end of the day, do you feel like fulfilled, happy? Do you feel drained? How does your job make you feel?
I would have to say, I mean, if we have a good day generally, which I hope most of them are, I feel fulfilled.
So you don't feel like you're lacking anything in your job? Or?
Well, not really, no. I mean, of course, you always aspire to, you know, be more and do more. But I think I'm fortunate actually to have the job that I do have, and I was probably very lucky at a certain time in my life to get into the film business, because it's not an easy place to get yourself into, as a lot of us know.
Fate brought you here.
Fate brought me here in a lot of ways, because like, I mean, I definitely had always had an interest in film. A lot of people probably don't really realize that there actually is a person that, you know, is making sure that that actor is comfortable and making, you know, as an individual, you know, it's literally an individual's job to make sure, you know, the buttons are done up correctly, and you know, he hasn't forgot to do up his fly.
I hear you.
Stuff like that.
There we go. So now Mark's gonna give us some tips on how to properly iron a shirt. Apparently it takes 20 minutes, you said?
Well, I brought a short sleeve shirt in. I thought we could shorten that. Hi everybody, this is your little mini tutorial on how to properly iron a shirt. This is the male part of the ironing board. This is what we call the female part of the ironing board. That's a little tip for you. Basically, ironing a men's shirt, obviously we would use the male side of the ironing board. I would always start with the shoulder placket. And basically just give that a little thing, a little pressing, you get rid of hanger marks, and it starts your starts the process. Then we do the back of the collar. Like that. Then do the underside of the button placket, like this. Moving over to the other side, the same thing with where your buttons are. We go along this seam from the inside. And now we move to the sleeves. You start with the back of the sleeve because you can get most of your wrinkles out going through both layers of the fabric. Personally, I don't put a crease in the sleeve on camera because it's hard to get that consistency every time you iron the shirt. So I actually iron it right out. Iron the back, slide it down a touch, iron out this side. We haven't finished the sleeve, but we will get back to that. Now we go to the actual shirt itself. And the reason we do the sleeves first is because you don't want to iron all this, and then when you go to do the sleeves, you're going to get this all wrinkled again. And now we do the back. You could go directly to this side and do the front side first, but I just sort of make my way around, you know, kind of moving around the ironing board. Like this, like this. Of course, people, this is a fast job. You're just getting the idea out the way, the steps. Okay, and then lastly, we have this side. There we go. This is coming out quite nicely. And finally, go back to your sleeves. Now we're going to just do a finishing touch on the actual front of the sleeve, which you've done it down here, so you don't really have to go up to that seam. You just do that. Same thing on the other sleeve, where your crease will be, but don't add a crease. Okay. And then finally we finish off with the collar. And generally when you do a collar, go from the outside and make your way in. That way you won't get those little wrinkles that often will happen in the corners of a collar if you go from the out and work your way in. That way if there is a stretch or an excess of fabric, it's going to work its way to the back where it's obviously. And sometimes if you want to have, you can have a soft roll, or you can do a little bit like this to give your, and basically that's it. 5 minutes and a perfectly ironed shirt.
So before I let you go, Mark, if there was another job you could do on set, what would it be and why?
Well, that's really easy. I'd probably want to be a director.
There you go.
I always thought, doesn't everyone in film want to be a director? But I've learned that that's not quite the case.
It's a little harder than some people think.
Generally, I think that's something I would love to do, is be a director.
Wonderful.
If not director, I'd go right to the other end of the scale and I'd probably do craft service so I can prepare food all day.
Well, I'd love to try that out.
Right.
I'll be your sample girl.
Sounds good.
Well, thanks for chatting with us.
It was a lot of fun, Olivia. Thank you for having me. I'm
Thanks,
flattered.
guys, for watching.
Bye.
Bye.